Your voice, Kim, in Minneapolis, and just if y'all been tuning in for a while, you heard the love with Chaz and Glenn Golden and Kim in the studio. Kim, I just wanted to
Oh,
be there. I just
oh,
wanted
I
to be there.
know. I
How did
know.
that
And
feel just to talk to Chaz and just that love? Did you? I know you felt it too,
yeah,
right?
absolutely. And unfortunately, Chaz wasn't in the building though. He called in, but it was still great to hear his voice because I haven't seen him. Actually, I probably say since the pandemic, since KMOJ even closed down as far as letting people come into the studio, we haven't really seen each other. So it was just a blessing to hear him still sounding good and upbeat. And despite, life and everything that's going on, it's always a pleasure to hear our brother Chaz.
Absolutely, and just the love coming through the microphone is real.
It's
So
real.
and I love that. And Minneapolis. If you've been listening to our show, me and Kim, we kind of chop it up and do our thing. But it's always a blessing just to be able to have this space. So let me start over. Just to get the intro out the way first. Minneapolis, welcome. This is Minneapolis 360. I'm your host, Anthony Taylor, with the City of Minneapolis Neighborhood and Community Relations. This is our bi-weekly show that we have, and I'm always glad to be with you and be a part of this, giving information and trying to do my part as best as I can, as best as the city can, to inform folks. And again, this is a new year, and there's a couple things that I want to say. Is Happy New Year to everybody, right? I know it's January 12th, so I'm a little bit late. You've probably heard it a lot, but this is my first show in 2020, so I'm hyped, right? I'm geeked up to be here. So Happy New Year to everybody. I hope everybody had a safe and really a loving New Year. Kim, like I got to tell you this. So I cooked my black eyed peas, and it was the best
Okay.
black eyed peas I ever made. So,
Was it?
yeah, man, I put my foot in it. It was no joke.
So we
So,
talking about the prosperity this year is about.
exactly. You already know. So, wanted to just share that. But I'm such in a good mood, my mind frame, and I'm hoping Minneapolis, you are thinking about different ways to do different things this year. Whatever your goals are, maybe don't call them resolutions, but if it's just checking in and giving hugs to people and hugging your babies and doing acts of kindness, I would really encourage folks to do that. So let me just put that out there for people. Just, Happy New Year, and may 2022 bring us everything that we need: peace, harmony, love, respect, and community is really what's the most important thing I want to share today. So
Yes.
one of the things that's important today, Minneapolis, that I really want people to kind of understand, we're going to talk about jobs with the city of Minneapolis, the Public Works Department. So I want people to really, really get your information out of this show that you need for anybody who's thinking on working for the city of Minneapolis in the Public Works Department. And I've got a person that's coming on that's going to talk a lot about the ins and outs of the job. So if you got nephews, loved ones, brothers and sisters who's looking for work or looking to get into the city of Minneapolis, this is really, I think, a great opportunity. So just kind of get ready for our guest. And
Get your
as
pens and
always,
pad. All
get
right.
tell them
Yeah,
again,
get out the
Kim.
pens and pads, your pencils, be prepared. So that way when we give you the information, you can write it down, you can be proactive.
Get it together, because it's important. And I think, and these are really good jobs, and I'll let my person come on. But as always, Minneapolis, I just want to kind of give a quick update about some of the things that's going on, especially around COVID. I mean, we know that the numbers are increasing, especially with Omicron kicking in, and Minneapolis continues to rise in cases. What I want to say is a couple things, Minneapolis, is first of all, if you haven't got vaccinated, I encourage folks to do so. If you are thinking about getting a booster shot, I encourage folks to do that well, because Omicron is here and it's affecting our cities. I don't know if you looked at any maps around the state or even the country, how widely it's spreading. So I just want to encourage folks to really think about vaccinations and boosters. And also, too, and this is kind of late news, but if you haven't heard it, the city of Minneapolis has signed a new mask mandate, reinstating the mask in our city, especially in our businesses and public accommodations. Masks are required. So when we talk about public places. We're talking about bars, restaurants, movie theaters, recreational places, retail offices, and shopping centers. So that is back now. And I think a lot of us kind of know this because it's happened a while ago. But again, understand that those mask requirements are back on. It kind of feels a lot like it was before, but still just remember to understand that to put our mask on, keep ourselves safe. We also have some limited supplies in the city for PPEs for vulnerable populations. So if businesses want to request some PPEs, go to the health at minneapolismn.gov to request some PPEs to help you get through some of the supplies that you may be running low with. So again, Minneapolis, that's kind of one of the biggest things I wanted to share to make sure we understand that the mask mandates are back on it. And understand too, if you have babies in school, you understand that there's a lot of districts now who are going back to distance learning, right? So that continues, that list to me seems to grow each and every day on schools that are going back to distance learning. So understand where we are with COVID. So just wanted to give that out there to folks and understand where we're at. So listen, Kim talked about it, and she said, get your pens and paper and phones ready, because I have a person on from the city of Minneapolis who is going to talk about what it's like, what are the opportunities to get involved with Public Works Department for the city. So I want to really welcome this person today, and that's Chantel Pointer from the Human Services Department in the city. Chantel, welcome to Minneapolis 360, and how you doing today?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Good, and yourself? Well, you said good, huh?
Chantel, tell us what's going on with Public Works. I mean, when I say jobs, I'm hoping people's ears perk up. But what's going on with the with the Public Works Department and jobs there?
So we currently are doing a recruitment that we do every year for many positions that include on-the-job training. Especially now is the best time to do it, or to get new people coming in due to recent retirements and promotions of our current employees.
So when we're talking about Public Works, a lot of people don't know what Public Works is, right? I mean, it's what it all encompasses. So, break down Public Works and some of the things that department does for the city.
Public Works is the largest department in the city of Minneapolis. We employ more than 1,000 people in 9 different divisions. When it comes to Public Works, we have a variety of different things that we do, from taking care of drinking water, taking care of the streets like potholes, paving, picking up your garbage on garbage day, traffic signs and signals, and surface water. And the current positions that we are hiring in for the divisions are solid waste and recycling, transportation maintenance and repair, traffic and parking services, water treatment and distribution, and then also surface water and sewers. And they all have multiple vacancies that include on-the-job training if you don't have any training.
So those are the specific jobs that are available right now. So kind of go over those again real quick so folks can kind of understand exactly which jobs are available at Public Works. Because you talked about, we got a lot of folks retiring, right? So kind of tell them again, those specific positions.
So specifically, we have Public Works Service Worker 1 trainees. What happens is that mainly those are employer candidates who don't have any type of experience or may have some experience. They would train on the job for 12 months, type of 12 months probation program that we have that will gain experience and help them become successful. We also support the trainees in obtaining CDL Class B to learn how to plow snow and how to safely operate the equipment. Public Works Service Worker 1 is more experienced, and those are the people that have CDLs. Class B, they will perform construction type of jobs, maintenance activities, drive and operate equipment to support construction and maintenance work. And then Public Works Service Worker 2s, they are a little bit more experienced than the service worker ones. They have their CDLs. They also know how to maneuver and operate the heavy equipment that we have here. And then water distribution operator trainee performs manual labor and semi-skilled work for the water distribution system. And then they don't have to come with any experience at all. And then the water distribution operator ones, they come with a little bit more of experience, like a 12-month, a year's worth of experience, and then they also do handle the similar work of the trainees for the water distribution system.
We are talking with Chantel Pointer from the Human Resource Department in the city of Minneapolis, talking about public works jobs for folks who are interested. She just gave us a lot of different positions out there that's available. I'm gonna ask her about the trainee program in a little bit, but Chantel, from what it sounds like, right? These are a lot of jobs that are working outside. Is that correct?
Correct.
So,
Yes,
if go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say that, yes, most of the positions are working outside. You have to work in all types of different weather, climates, weather, and yeah, just pretty much outside of a lot of things that you're going to be doing now.
So, if you know folks, Minneapolis, or you're part of a person who really enjoys being outside, maybe this is something that you could be definitely interested in. Chaz had said that, before the show, it's 37 degrees. There's nothing really complain about in Minneapolis, right? So I think a lot of times people think that the weather is kind of restrictive, but if you're a person who likes to be outside, we also understand too, the summer and the springs are gorgeous here as well. So want to just make sure people kind of understood that. And Chantel, when you talked about trainee jobs, kind of explain what the trainee program is.
The trainee programs is pretty much candidates that don't have any experience. It's a program that is 12 to 18 months long, hired into the Public Works Department. We provide all the training, all the resources, and equipment to get them into that Public Works Service Worker 1 or Water Distribution Operator 1 position. We are with them every step of the way to make sure that they complete the 12 to 18 month training program and get either the water supply certification for the Water Distribution Operator 1 and then or their CDL for the Public Works Service Worker 1 position.
So let me ask you this question about that, and maybe we can dig a little bit deeper in that program. So it's a 12 to 18 month long program. The city is staying with folks every step of the way. What's the commitment for that 12 to 18 months? Is this maybe weekly, a couple days a week classes or programs? And also one of the biggest things too, are these paid training programs that I think folks will be interested in knowing?
Yes, so you'll be hired on as a Public Works Service Worker trainee, and it's a 40-hour week type of job. It's training on site. There are some trainings that we do have that are, classroom and or equipment training. But each one of those it's mainly 40 hours a week, and you are paid just like because you are an employee of the city of Minneapolis. And then once you've completed it and have your CDL and or your water supply license or certification, you are automatically promoted to a Public Works Service Worker 1 and or Water Distribution Operator 1.
Yeah, and I think that's big, and I just want you to clarify that because when folks hear that long of a commitment, obviously that's a lot of time that folks have to spend, but you're also getting paid for 40 hours a week during that training and also to being automatically promoted. Those are things I want to highlight, right, for folks so they can really understand what that means. And I think that's really important. to mention that. And Chantel and folks, like I said, get ready to write some of this information down. But Chantel, I want to kind of ask you another question, right? You've been obviously been a big part of this program, you and your colleague Monique Fish especially. Can you just kind of share some of your experiences that you've seen folks and how this program has either helped folks, get to a different level, or just some of the appreciation or stories that you've heard from other people who went through this program?
Honestly, this is and I'm not just saying this because I work here, either because I'm the main person along with Monique, over the recruitment process. But I love this time of the year because I get to watch someone with absolutely no experience come in the door. They commit to the 12 to 18 months. They get their CDL, and they are automatically a service worker one. The city likes to promote from within. So if you're at a service worker one position and you're wanting to do a service worker two, they're going to teach you and guide you, if that's your goal, to be a service worker two or something else within, that department or other departments, guide you to obtain that goal. I've had a lot of people, extremely happy because they took the chance to go ahead and do the 12 months and commit to it, and now they're, service worker one or about to be a service worker two because they made that commitment. Each time you're promoted, you definitely, it's a plus that you get that big wage increase as well, so that helps. But it's, like I said, I love this time of the year.
We are talking with Chantel Pointer from the Human Resources Department, City of Minneapolis, around some positions with the Public Works Department. A lot of good information, a lot of good opportunities, and I appreciate you sharing your thoughts on that, because I think people want to hear that, and if it's coming from somebody who's been in this program and understands this, I think it's really important. So listen, Chantel, let's give people the information, right? So how do they apply? What are some deadlines? How can people apply? Give people the information on accessing this program.
Okay, you can apply at www.minneapolismn.gov/jobs. We began accepting applications on December 6th of 2021. The deadline is this Sunday, so make sure you log on and apply. I know that if you believe that you have, experience in public works service worker, as a public works service worker one, say that due to the application, it's not incomplete or things like that, I will send you an email stating that it's incomplete. Just make sure that you log back in, making sure that you have everything added on there. We do not require a resume, but if you do attach a resume, please do not put C resume as the job duties, because you will be not considered as for the position. But make sure that you thoroughly read the description of each application. I always suggest candidates to, if they're not sure exactly if they're wanting to do public works service worker one or trainee, or the water distribution operator one or trainee, apply for both. You will be considered for both, and then during the interview process, if one appeals more to you, let us know that, and then we will be able to work with you and get you in the right direction where you need to be.
So Minneapolis, I hope you heard a lot of the information, and I'll repeat it. So January 16th is the deadline. That is this Sunday, right? So just this Sunday is the deadline to have your application online, and you can go at minneapolismn.gov/jobs. Again, this Sunday is the deadline, people. So please make sure, if you're interested, or pass this information on to somebody in your family or community. I think it's important because today is Wednesday, right? Today is Wednesday, and it closes on Sunday. Again, minneapolismn.gov/jobs. And we're talking to Chantel. And Chantel, it sounds like you're the person that's going to reach out to people. From what I hear you say. One of the questions that I wanted to ask you too, because you brought this up, is that what are some key points about this application process? So you talked about not saying see resume, right? So give people just some of the things that you want to have them avoid, the pitfalls of maybe having their application rejected or not complete. Is it just more than that? What are some other things that folks should make sure that they pay attention to on this application?
Make sure that you read the posting first to make sure that you have the relevant experience and training on that application. If you think that you qualify for the service worker too, but I send you an email, or I send you an email saying that you don't qualify due to what we're looking for, I will send you an email stating, hey, you're not qualified for this position, but don't get discouraged. Apply for the other positions as well, because just because you're not qualified for a certain position doesn't mean that you're not qualified for another position. The physical agility is coming up, so make sure that you mark your calendars for that as well. But as far as the application process, it's pretty smooth. You'll hear from me as soon as your application is entered. I'm usually right on it. Within 24 hours, you will receive something from me stating that we received your resume and I'm looking over it, and or everything's good to go, or you don't qualify for minimum qualifications or incomplete application. And to reach out to me, my phone number's on there if you have any questions along the way. And Monique is there as well to assist.
And you are giving a lot of good information, and you touched on something that I want you to talk about too, that I think folks may have heard just as I did. You talked about a physical agility test, right? Kind of explain what that means to folks. All right, because you said that, and I think if people are listening, they kind of want to know what the details are. You're requiring folks to run 18 miles, swim 10 laps, do 100 push-ups. Like, what does that mean?
So for the physical agility test, we want to make sure that you are capable of doing the position. So there are, depending on which position you apply for, there are certain tasks that you have to do, and you're timed. There's a climb and pull type of task that you have to do. You have to go up a scaffold and grab a rope with a bucket full of sand, lift it up without spilling any of the sand, putting it in a circle, lowering it down back into the circle where you got it from, making sure that you're able to do that. We're watching to make sure that you're able to shovel, because a lot of our positions you have to shovel, with the pavement and things like that. So we have a task where you have to shovel sand in the back of a dump truck. If you're within the applying for the water distribution operator position, then you have to make sure that you can open and close a gate valve. So different type of physical agility tasks that you have to do to make sure that you can actually handle the job, because it is outside and it is labor type of work.
Yeah, and from what you're saying, it doesn't sound like these tests are too strenuous. Like, people shouldn't go into training right now, right? Or going to okay. I just want folks to understand the process, right? So when you're better informed, you can make a better decision about some things. So as we wrap up the show with the last few minutes here, Chantel Pointer from Human Resources, City of Minneapolis. So after this application deadline is closed, like, what's the next step after your application is submitted?
After it's submitted, it closes on January 16th, which is Sunday. All next week, I will be getting to candidates, letting them know that the scheduling is open for the physical agility test. So log on, make sure that you're looking at your email, because that's how that's the main point of contact for me, to email all the candidates at once to let them know that you're moving to the next step, and the next step would be the physical agility test. So just make sure that you look out for emails next week. And then scheduling, as far as scheduling is concerned, we have a self-schedule process that we use. If anyone has any issues, my phone number is always on every email, and then you do have my email because it's attached. So I'd be able to assist you with scheduling the physical agility test, which would be the following week, January 27th and January 28th. And then after that is the interview process, where you'll be sitting in front of the hiring managers and interviewing for each position.
You know, you gave some great information today, Chantel. And again, these jobs you can apply at minneapolismn.gov/jobs, Public Works Department for the city. And again, Chantel, I want to thank you for bringing this to folks, and hopefully this will help some people, you know, maybe find a different career path that they didn't think about. That is something I think is important. So I appreciate you being on 360 today, and
great information.
Thank you very much. Absolutely.
Thank you guys for having me. This was actually really fun.
Wonderful.
Yep. Thank you, sis. Appreciate you. That was Chantel Pointer, Kim. I mean, I think that's kind of dope, right?
It's very dope. We're always, you know, people, especially, you know, since we are in the middle of a pandemic, you hear so many people talking about whether it's hard to find a job. But then you also have the other end of the stick where there's just some places that are just looking for employees.
Right.
However, there's still people that saying, like, you know, it's hard for them to find a job, or they are looking for another career, you know, to get into. So this is great information. Please share it with your friends and family members that, you know, are in need, because it's here. There's no reason why you shouldn't make money in this state. I'm just saying.
I heard that. And the training program is paid. So a lot of advantages, So listen, that's my time, Minneapolis. Kim, you be well. Always good to be on this show with you, sis.
Well, stay warm.
Stay warm and stay safe.
Absolutely.